Hey friends, and welcome to Synthetic. Synthetic is a top-down roguelike shooter with, according to the store page, next-level gunplay. And it's true. You can find hundreds of guns, tons of different variants, and you can further upgrade them with special abilities during your run, which makes for some fantastic gameplay. But today we're ignoring all of that. Why? A friend of mine trash-talked the engineer, and so now, to prove a point, I'm going to play this game without using guns. And to prove even more of a point, I'm going to do this on maximum difficulty, all of the modifiers enabled, and also madness mode, which makes it even harder, just to prove a point. Let's go. Right off the bat, it's going to be pretty stressful because of madness mode. The enemies are going to be alerted immediately. So I'm first going to have to clear out a few of the enemies before I can start properly explaining what the hell we're doing. So just give me a moment here. And let me clear out the few starter enemies. There's even more coming from up here. And there's even more coming from here. Those are the extra dangerous guys, the headhunters. And obviously all of our turrets, all of our drones are dead now, so we're just gonna chill here. Wait for our cooldowns to, for our items to come off cooldowns. Our items are here in the bottom left. So right now we have a drone. This drone shoots missiles at the enemy, that's its way of dealing damage. But it's not our only item that can deal damage. We have on our right click, we have a turret. There's a certain chance that two will spawn. It's just a machine gun on legs, so it will just shoot any enemy that comes in range. And that's our main two ways of dealing damage. The missile drone actually, it spawns on your cursor, so now I can spawn it up here, which is really nice. If there's enemies far away, then sometimes I will spawn the missile drone like across a ravine, like over here. I could, if it was off cooldown, I could just spawn it over here. Very convenient. I will sometimes spawn it just so that it can start dealing some damage while I'm busy fighting enemies somewhere else. Okay. Our third way of dealing damage is this little drone that flies around right here and occasionally shoots at the enemies. It's not very powerful right now, but every time we recycle an item, it gets a temporary buff that decays over time, and it also gets a slightly less powerful buff that's permanent. So over time, towards the end of the run, instead of just having one dinky little drone, we will have two drones firing essentially machine guns, and that's where a significant amount of damage will come from. Weapons chest, obviously we completely ignore that, because we don't use weapons. Not only do we not shoot any weapons, we will also not use the passive buffs. Some weapons have a passive bonus, like 20% less cooldown on your items, which is really powerful, but we're not going to do that because, like I said, I'm here to challenge myself and really challenge myself. Okay, that's almost all of the enemies of the first floor dealt with. So I think now it's time to explain to you one of the major mechanics of this run, and that is recycling. That is what makes the engineer so special. Basically, you can, those items down here, you can throw them away. There's this recycling symbol right here. And if you throw them away, you get items back. Now, right now I got two items. I got the superior potion. I got that one because it is inside the suitcase that I just threw away. The suitcase has this special ability that as soon as you recycle it, you get the potion. And I also got a phaser, which is another spawnable. There he goes. Kind of useful, not too powerful, but it's better than nothing. I got that one because I have a there we go, because I have this bonus starting upgrade, which means that the first any item we recycle will also yield us another item, and after this every third item we recycle will give us a new item. And that's how the engineer really starts escalating, basically. You know, we can go around, recycle all of the items we don't need, and keep the items that we want, and thus cycle through the entire item pool. and just keeping our most powerful and best items. And while we do all of that, we generate a ton of money, which allows us to buy more items, upgrade more items, and yeah, also upgrade our drones. You can see over there on the top right is basically how powerful our drones are. This is a weapon upgrades kit. Obviously, since we don't use weapons, we don't have any need for it, but it counts as an item, so we can just recycle it. And this one, core upgrade set, that's very powerful. It's just a stat upgrade, permanent one. So just gonna activate it. Do we want armor, shield, or ammo gain? Don't really care about ammo, so I will just take the bonus shields. And for the second stat, we will take scavenging. Scavenging just means we get more items, more chests lying around throughout the level. So scale faster, harder, stronger, better. I don't think that was the right order, but you know, whatever. On our Q down here, our item is basically we can heal and also empower one of our spawnables. So every now and then I will use that to make one of our turrets or this guy more powerful. Another weapons upgrade kit. Get rid of that. Incubus. Okay, that's exciting. The Incubus deals damage to you. Just damage over time, slowly. Not a lot, but it's significant. So you will permanently lose health, but it also grants you lifesteal. Now this lifesteal usually is related to your weapons, but luckily these drones here also trigger lifesteal. So I think we're gonna keep it. We will lose health, as you can see down here. We will lose health permanently, but it will also mean that we can heal back all of that health. Yeah. Just by shooting the enemies, which is a very important late game. We also have the potion. The potion will heal a little bit of health and has a chance to give us a random effect, such as not permanent, but health regeneration over like 40 seconds or something. It can also give us a negative effect like poison, so we take more damage. But most importantly, it has a certain chance to give us a permanent stat upgrade, which is kind of why we want this potion. Yeah, we gain 1 charge every floor, so we will try to use this right now because we're super low on health. And yeah, like I said, we will try to use this at least once per floor, just so we can maximize its potential. Yeah, so right now I'm just running around, dropping all of our items. We don't have the most powerful items right now, so we kind of chill and relax, and we have to spend a lot of time just waiting for our cooldowns, trying to keep the enemies out of range, and running around like a scared chicken. Towards the end, hopefully, if we get a good item build, there's still a lot of RNG involved, but if we can get a good item build, we will just steamroll the enemy. Like if you play with guns, you can get some truly insane combos and just absolutely wreck everything. With just items and no guns, we will quote unquote only become mildly overpowered. Yeah, as you can see, like if our drone refuses to cooperate, if the AI is a bit bugged, our missile drone, if it gets bugged and it's only our little orbital drone firing, then we really don't deal a lot of damage. But towards the end, you'll see it will turn into basically a machine gun. This here is a poison grenade, which will just drop a cloud of poison on the ground. Very useful for, like, I popped one over here under the turret. The turrets cannot move out of the poison cloud, so it will just die, which is really nice. But other than that, it's not very powerful. Really, as for right now, our items are kind of meh, to be honest. Not too spectacular. Okay, I was about to talk you through one of the events there. one of the enemies briefly turned friendly. That's one of the other abilities with the engineer. If you beat... there it's happened again. If you beat the game in 4 different difficulty stages with the engineer unlocks a permanent bonus that there is a chance that any enemy you kill will permanently will turn to your side after death. Sorry, it's hard to commentate while also being shot at. You can see this by the health bar turning green, and also because there's a little brain symbol above them. But because our spawnable turrets and such don't really discriminate between friend or foe, it's they very rarely survive long enough to make an impact. They're just becoming even more cannon fodder. We picked up a permanent upgrade here. Ooh, all items found are upgraded, that's tempting. More damage against long-range enemies, don't really care. Better life steal and health regen, but only when shields are down. We try to keep our shields online, so we'll stick to better items. Speaking of items, we found an item box with the beamer. Don't care, throw it away. And here's an item chest which has a timer, and that timer expired 200 seconds ago. So unfortunately, yeah. That happened again. See, this enemy just turned friendly, and once again our machine gun just kept shooting it. So yeah, not very likely that it will happen. Yeah, this station down here allows us to upgrade our guns, so don't care. And that's it for this floor. Another weapon chest, which we also don't care about. Let's move on. Like I said, towards the early floors, we won't see a lot of things happening. Other than, that's what happens when you play on maximum difficulty and madness mode. You know, just the enemy runs into you, deals melee damage once, and you lose like half of your health. And I immediately used a potion to heal back, and the potion poisoned me, so now I literally have 4 health, and I think I'm going to drop the incubus. We just lose too much health from the incubus. It's not good. Tsunami Talisman has a chance to heal us, and yes, you know, some of the items you have to be careful if they trigger on shots, because not all items that trigger on shots will also trigger with our little drone, but this one does, which is very nice. So the Tsunami Talisman will heal us a little bit. Its main effect is that it reduces recoil, but which obviously doesn't matter right now, but we'll take the health anytime right now, because we're just so low on health. We're completely out of potions. We're struggling a bit right now, so I'll keep the item for now. Okay. Still enemies around. What's this? Curse of the Lethargic will slow us down a little bit, but in exchange for that we get luck. And luck is one of the most important stats on Engineer, because it means that we find more items. And also those items are more likely to be more powerful, and it also affects other stats like dodge, crit chance, etc, etc. So generally luck is a very good stat to have. And there's also one effect which I forgot to mention. It's my second starter buff, Well Oiled. It has some other effect, but the main one we are looking for is that as soon as you activate an item, there's a 2% chance that this will reset the cooldown of all of our other items. Now this happened a few times already. If you keep an eye on our item bar down on the bottom left, you will sometimes see that suddenly all of the items come back. That's this effect kicking in. It's very nice. And that's why for our item builds we will try to go for a few items with low cooldown which activate very often in order to trigger this effect as often as possible, and a few items with longer cooldown, like for example our turret and our drones or spawnables, in order to benefit the most from having the cooldown reset. Obviously now we have some weapons, but we are not going to pick them up, and a weapon chest. The game thinks that we haven't found a weapon yet after the first few floors, so it will try to actually give us more weapons, because it thinks, oh no, they need help, let's just give them some more weapons. But obviously we are going to ignore all of them. Unfortunately, I'm not exactly sure how this RNG works, but it feels to me like I'm getting less items because the game tries to give me more weapons. So that's even more of a handicap, but we don't care. We're going to push through this anyways. Yeah, we just spawn our spawnables, like our turret, our drones, and our this dude. Which as often as possible. We will try to drop our poison grenade on turrets, because the turrets cannot move out of the poison cloud. And other than that, we try to kite the enemies as much as possible and let our little orbital drone deal as much damage as it can. It's pretty slow, unfortunately, so if we run away, if we kite, that's nice, because the drone will stay further behind. But if we run into the enemy, the drone will sometimes struggle to keep up. But it's fine. I know what I'm doing. I don't. Seriously, I don't. Yeah, this guy is really dangerous. It doesn't deal damage itself, but if you don't kill it fast enough, and it... Yeah, that's it. It spawns a Chrono Trooper, which is very dangerous, very powerful, and I'm really fucking scared of it. And also, we just run out of heals. Okay, we set him on fire. Nice, okay, we got him. My Q, the auto overclocker, which heals our spawnables and also buffs them, also works on us. So basically we can temporarily give us health, which is very important, and I think it just saved our ass. I didn't keep too close an eye on our health bar, but it did get pretty low, and I'm very glad we got... Ooh, I just walked into my own poison cloud. Yeah, we are back to like 50 health, damn it. Yeah, kind of struggling with health right now. We're going to take scavenging again. Scavenging, obviously, meaning more chests spawn, more items, faster scaling, that kind of stuff. Okay, immediately, like I said, we get a health potion every floor, so I popped it immediately just to get some of the health back. And I think the RNG is biased a little bit, so if you are low on health, you are more likely to get health regeneration as the effect of the potion. And we indeed got health regeneration, so we're back to full health right now, which makes me very happy. Unfortunately, this boss, it's not really a boss, it's more like a chamber where a ton of enemies spawn. So we will just have to hold out. Because our damage potential isn't great, we struggle a little bit. We cannot really kill all of them. In theory, you have to stay close to the center thing so that the loading bar up there progresses. We won't always be able to do that, but eventually the game will just run out of enemies to spawn, and you can chill near the central station and hack it that way. But because I don't have all of the time in the world, I will still try to hang around the central station and complete the objective normally. These guys are really powerful because they have very powerful shields. As you can see, the blue health bar is the shield and the red health bar is the health. Luckily, the poison effect just ignores shields and goes straight for the health. So if we put a poison cloud, a poison grenade under their feet, it will just kill them that way. So yeah, we don't have the greatest of items right now, but we manage. Okay, big guy just spawned. This is the big guy, very scary. And there you just saw the reset happened, so all of our items are off cooldown, which is very useful. In order to start dealing some damage against the big guy and hopefully take him out. There we go. Take him out before he can regenerate his shields. So now it's just a few stragglers left over to take care of, and boom! That's the final boss. No, not the final boss. Unfortunately, not the final boss. That's the first boss taken care of. Like I said, I'm struggling a bit to do this commentary while also playing this game. Like I said, it's maximum difficulty. It's not very easy. I might make it look easy, but it's definitely not. This is like my 6th attempt, I think, at this. So yeah, Power Ray, yeah, it's damage. We'll keep it because it's damage, but it's not the greatest item. Ooh, there you just saw it. There was a body upgrade. So it's a permanent one. I don't remember what we got, but yeah, it's any upgrade is nice. And we found a gun as a reward for fighting the boss. Yeah, that's a shame. Items obviously would have been great. Guns are completely useless for us. But once again, the game is just desperately trying to give us as many guns as it can. There's another gun shop. Nice. I activated the health potion again because we still weren't quite full health, and we got bonus movement speed, which is really nice because that means we can run away better. And this guy is extremely scary. I mean, from the audio alone, he sounds really nice. He actually uses a gun that you can use yourself. You can find this in your runs. It's one of the most powerful guns in the game. And obviously we just won't do that. And we just have to run away from him and be extremely scared and try to just throw all of our items at him and hope that he dies. But unfortunately he has a shield, and because we have just such bad damage output, he will sometimes regenerate the shield quicker than we can kill him. And he also is being healed by a... well, there's two of them to start with, and they have a Mediball. The Mediball will heal any enemy unit that is damaged, so including itself. So they themselves are really hard to kill if you like the damage output. But we got him. Okay, good. That's the really nice thing about our missile drones. The missile drones are a bit finicky. They don't always lock onto their targets. But if they do, they can output a ton of damage onto them. So now all of the damage we do to those hyper troopers is permanent, and this one is still in the poison cloud. So yeah, we managed to take out those guys as well. This is a shield bot. It will regenerate the shields of all units that are around it, but luckily it's only alone right here, so we should be able to kill it, even though, as you can see, its shield regeneration is pretty high, so we actually had to spawn our turret in order to get enough damage output to kill it. As you can see, the enemies are getting tougher. It's not quite as much of a breeze. It's becoming a damage race, really, and some of the enemies are just able to out-heal us. And the game gave us another gun, and it's the one I talked about with the 20% better item cooldown, and obviously we are going to drop it immediately. We still have our starting pistol. Unfortunately, we cannot drop the starting pistol, but I made sure to... oh, no. I was about to say I made sure to pick one that doesn't have any passive bonuses, but it turns out this one actually has. I didn't check it thoroughly enough. So actually we have 10% bonus on our little orbital drone. 10% crit chance, I mean. So yeah, whoops. But I'm not going to restart the run because of that. Sorry! Like I said, this is my 6th attempt, and I'm very happy that I'm actually managing to do somewhat cohesive narration while also not dying, you know. So no, I'm not going to restart right now. Yeah. If I die, I will just... I won't start from the start again. I won't start from the start, that sentence made sense. Instead, I will just jump to this point, and then I will make sure to pick a different gun. But hopefully that won't be necessary. Oh, yeah, as you can see on the top left right now, it says escape in 50 seconds. There's actually a time limit on how much time you can spend on each floor. And because we have such bad damage output, and we struggle so hard to kill the enemies, it actually gives us a time limit, and if we don't leave in that time, it will flood the entire floor with poison gas, and we will just take tons of damage. We want to avoid that, obviously, but at the same time we have to kill as many enemies and clear as much of the floors as possible, just to get as many items, get as many weapon upgrade kits, to be able to actually have a chance against the final boss. So we will take out that shield drone as well, and as soon as it's dead, yeah, whatever, just going to immediately enter the teleporter to the next floor. And here we are. And as you could just see, we had another reset of our item cooldowns, which is really nice. Because especially when you just jump out of the teleporter and all of the enemies are around you, you don't have any space to retreat because the enemies are just everywhere. That's basically where you need your items to be off cooldown, and those guys are also very dangerous, those assault prisms, pineapples. Yeah, they, as you can see, they just spray shots everywhere, deal a ton of damage, and I'm very scared of them. But hey, he dropped a weapon upgrade kit, that's nice. Going to get rid of the Tsunami Talisman, because we are back to tons of health. We got a new item, Heart Seekers I think it is. I think when we kill an enemy there's a chance that there we go, we shoot out those blue projectiles that deal bonus damage. They're nice, not too exciting, so we just keep them. Those are, I think, 8 item slots. Yeah, 8 item slots. We can't have any more than that. So since we are already full, from this point on we will have to start managing what items we want to keep and what items we're just gonna recycle. Finally! We have 9,999 money. That's from all of the recycling of the items. And finally we meet our first weapon upgrade station. This is where all of this money is going to go. So buffing items will reduce their cooldown, increase their damage output if it's a damage item. Please leave me alone. Thank you. I'm not going to upgrade all of them, but especially our turrets and our drones. I will put a lot of money into those. Yeah, and a few of the items we will just ignore because they're not that good. Going to keep a little bit of money in case we run into an item shop, so that we can actually buy some items soon. Yeah. Then I'm also going to recycle the item overclocker. It's actually a pretty powerful item in my opinion, but I'm still going to recycle it because can't be bothered to micromanage my my spawnables enough to also upgrade them. So yeah, I'm just going to recycle it. Right now we have a choice which sector we want to go to. Do we want to make it easier, stay on that difficulty level, or make it harder? And so obviously I picked harder because apparently I'm not suffering enough yet. I'm going to shuffle my items around a little bit so I don't have to press as many buttons. I can trigger my items from the mouse. Those are those guys again that they spawn chrono troopers, and that was annoying. As you could see, one of those alert drones died, and like I said, enemies have a chance when they die that they will convert to my side. He died, converted to my side, but because of the game's coding, after his timer ran down, he still spawned an enemy chrono trooper, and the chrono trooper was actually hostile, he wasn't friendly. So I had to kill him, which sucks. I mean, it's not that bad, chrono troopers, because they are like high-level enemies, they have a higher chance of dropping items, which is nice, so yeah. Anything of interest here? No. Okay. So we just keep going, keep killing everything, keep running away, because we realize that we are fighting pretty powerful enemies up here. Oh, our first item shop with special items. Nothing too exciting. Energy link. It reduces the cooldown of our items, but it also uses a item slot, so it's just not all of that useful. So I think we're going to keep it for now, but we're going to recycle it relatively soon. I'm getting stunned, I'm getting stunned. Ooh. We got really low on health right there. That's the problem. One of the difficulty modifiers, like I said, I'm playing at maximum difficulty, so all of the modifiers are enabled. One of the difficulty modifiers is that as soon as you take damage, it slows you down, which can get a really bad spiral, because like you take damage, it slows you down, which means you cannot dodge the next attack, you take more damage, etc. So yeah, bad things can happen. So yeah, we basically are constantly out of health potions. You cannot have more than 4 stacks, so ideally I would always have 4 stacks on me, but unfortunately, because we keep taking so much damage, Yeah. Another Chrono Trooper. Chrono Troopers are really annoying because they teleport, so you're just chilling behind the wall, you think you're safe, and then suddenly a Chrono Trooper teleports in front of you, and they spawned another one. There he is, just teleported in. Luckily he teleported right into all of my friends, so he's dead. Cool. And picking up ammo boxes, obviously that's completely useless because we don't need ammo. The engineer actually has a passive bonus that he will passively just regenerate ammo over time, which is really useful, except, well, we don't use ammo, so yeah. Okay, we found another item here, so that's when we dump our energy link. Power shot, don't care about that one. And a Rosarius, yeah. The power shot is a really useful item with the engineer, because every 6th shot you fire deals bonus damage. Doesn't sound too exciting until you realize that that means that if you fire your gun, there's an item activation every 6 shots. And like I mentioned before, the engineer, every time you activate an item, has a 2% chance to reset the cooldown on all of your items. So if you have a minigun as well as 6-shooter, you can just have tons and tons and tons of RNG checks where the game will roll the 2% chance for you to have your items cooldown reset. Very powerful, this item. Unfortunately, yeah, we don't have a gun, so it doesn't trigger at all. So yeah, we just recycle it immediately. It's completely useless for us. Found another weapon upgrade kit, so we can recycle that one. And yeah, get back into action. The weapon upgrade kit was actually from this mission. The mission was to defend this object for a certain time. They're like side quests you can do for extra rewards, and we got a weapon upgrade kit as a reward, or in other words, 1/3 of an item, because we just immediately recycle it. And here we go. That's our second boss, and once again it's not actually a boss fight, it's just a series of enemies. This is actually one of the... I think a lot of people struggle with this one, because it's like a conveyor belt, and as soon as you get in one of those red zones, you start taking damage and you get stun locked and you just die. So you have to stay in the middle, and sometimes it will go forward, sometimes it will go back, sometimes it will stop. And once again it's like a DPS check for us, so we have to be a bit careful with what we do. Orb of Wind, gonna keep that, gonna reroll our Rosarius, because some items will give you a passive bonus when you recycle them, and Rosarius is one of them. I'm not sure what the passive bonus is. I think it's just one of the stats upgrades. So yeah. Sometimes it makes sense to recycle even good items. Rosarius, definitely a good item. It will give you a temporary shield when you enter combat, but I prefer to have the item slot free for other items we might run into, and just get the passive stat upgrade. Yeah. Once again, we just do a lot of work with our movement, trying to dodge the enemy attacks, never stop. A lot of the game is balanced around you not moving, because you are more accurate with your guns when you are stationary than when you are moving. So when you are just running around and shooting while moving, you probably won't hit anything, and you will miss a lot of shots, and thus not kill your enemies, take a lot of damage, and die. So it's definitely a question where you have to balance: when do you stop running, when do you stand still in order to shoot, and when do you continue running. We don't have this issue, because obviously we don't deal any damage ourselves. Going to recycle this guy, pick up... Sorry, I had to lose our train of thought there. Found another weapons chest, unfortunately, so no bonus for us. What was I saying? Ah yeah, right, since we don't have to stop to shoot, because we don't shoot, we can just keep running and keep dodging all of the enemy's attacks. So a lot of the work and a lot of our survivability doesn't come from our shields or our health, because like you saw really early in the game already, one of the first two or three floors, the enemies were already able to take out like a third of our health bar in a single hit. And it, what? Yep. This guy just drops rocks on us, dealing a lot of damage. Yeah, as you can see, we are back to like 0 health. We entered this floor on full health, by the way, and just like that, it's all gone. You know where I'm going with this, right? Our survivability doesn't come from health or shields. Our survivability comes exclusively from our mobility. We keep moving, we stay out of trouble, we dodge, we run. We try to let our items work for us. But obviously I'm not a coward, I don't just want to sit on the back of the map and let our items do everything, so I will still run headfirst into the enemies, and yeah, I'm paying for it. Like I said, this is my 6th attempt at this. But yeah, I'm trying to have a lot of fun, I don't want this run to take forever. So yeah, I'm taking risks. Yeah, speaking of taking risks, we don't have shields anymore, we're low on health, we're out of items, we have headhunters after us. Yeah, I'm riding a very fine line between life and death right here. And it's another one. No, this one is different, this one actually shoots at you, as you will see in just a second. Yep, like that. But obviously we can just outplay them. Oh shit, found another one of those mortar things. We try to just... there we go. As soon as we have visual range on them, we can just drop one of our poison grenades on top of them, and because it's a turret, it can't run away, so it just dies. But for that, we first have to find it, and they see you before you see them, so it's always a bit of a struggle, because you start taking damage, you start getting rocks dropped on top of you, and you don't know where they're coming from. So you have to run around the map, panicking, running into enemies in order to find out where they're dropping the rocks from. And there it is. And it's dead. Cool. I found another item upgrade station down here. So we are going to spend a little bit of money again. Yup. That's about that. Okay. And another weapons chest, I think, up here. Yeah, another weapons chest, not very useful. Permanent stat upgrade, let's go. What do you have for us? Ammo gain, obviously don't care. Dodge would be nice, but we're going to go with scavenging again for more items. Okay, that's that floor done. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, that's our hardcore that we just found. I'm not mentioning every single mechanic because the game has a lot of them, but one of them is you can pick up collectibles that are scattered across the map. One of them is this hardcore. Nice pun, by the way. It when you activate it, you have like a certain window of time, and for every enemy that you kill within this window of time, you get a permanent health upgrade. So we will try to like activate a powerful pod, so we kill as many enemies as possible in a short time to get the best use out of that item. And obviously every time we find a weapon upgrade kit, we just recycle it. I'm not mentioning it every time I do, but because of that, like I mentioned early in the game, our 2 drones that are floating around here, by now there are 2 of them. Every time you recycle an item, it gets a temporary upgrade. It upgrades their stats by 10, but also every item you recycle permanently upgrades their stat by 1. So you have to basically recycle 10 items to get your second drone, and after that each one will upgrade your items by 1. So yeah, that's why by now we have 2 drones, and they are shooting a lot faster. and hopefully we will be able to max out their fire rate and damage and everything by the time we hit the final boss to 30, but right now it looks like we're sitting at like, yeah, 15, around 15 stacks. Another upgrade station. This is really nice. We can dump a ton of upgrades into our hardcore. It costs a bunch of money, but because we keep recycling so many items, we don't really care about the money. But it also means that we will get a lot of more health as soon as we upgrade, as soon as we activate the hardcore. Unfortunately, I didn't really find any good situation where we were fighting a lot of enemies at once, so I didn't activate it this floor. Maybe next floor we will have a better opportunity. So I think we will just kill everything that's left and then leave. Yeah. Okay, and once again we're upgrading the difficulty even harder. Okay, this is our next boss fight. This one is actually, first of all, it's an actual boss, and second of all, it's pretty hard. There's 3 guys, one of them has a flamethrower. When you shoot your gun, you generate heat, and once you overheat, you take damage, and you cannot shoot your gun as well as anymore. So that guy basically removes your ability to do damage, so we don't really care about him too much because we don't use guns anyway. The other guy is a tank. He has tons of health, tons of shield, and the third guy has a sniper, which who can hit you from really far away. But they got distracted by our turrets, by our drones, by our spawnables, and they're dead. Cool. And you could see actually how much damage those 2 orbital drones can do right now, since we actually recycled a ton of items and upgraded them quite a lot. Okay, let's see what kind of items we have. Sticky bombs, don't really care. Magic mag, instantly refill your magazine, don't care about that one either. Recycle all of the items and move on to the next floor. Let's see what it has in store for us. Okay, feeling really confident right now, which obviously doesn't mean anything because the enemies are definitely able to remove all of our health in like a few seconds. Activating the hardcore right now because we have run into a few pods. Starting to regret the decision a little bit already. I'm hoping that our turrets down there do a bunch of kills. Yeah, wasn't a great hardcore. We only got close to 300 maximum health, which it's okay. If you time it really well, you can get like up to 500. 500 would be really great. 400 is a very solid hardcore use. But yeah, I didn't want to keep it around in my inventory forever, so I just activated it. Because I just want the item slot to be free in case we run into another item. Because our items are pretty much our only damage output. So we want to be able to have as many items as possible and as many powerful items as well. Here we have a tank, and yeah, the tank is dead. And so are we almost. Took a ton of damage there. Treasure Roomba, and it's dead. Very nice. It's on a timer, and if you don't kill it fast enough, it will just disappear. But we managed to get it, so we get a bunch of money out of it as well, which allows us to upgrade our items a little bit further. Items get more expensive to upgrade the more upgrades you already put in them, so there's some diminishing returns happening there. This would have been a nice opportunity to activate the hardcore. This is an alarm tower, and if an enemy touches it, then it will spawn in reinforcements. And we managed to like spawn in all of our units the second an enemy hit the alarm tower, so we just killed a ton of enemies in a short time. Would have been nice, but yeah, whatever. I think this run should be relatively safe right now, so long as I don't do anything stupid. We don't have any super powerful items. There's a gun drone spawner. Like right now we spawn a missile drone. There's another item that spawns gun drones, and which has a lot faster cooldown, and it will also it activates on enemy death, which is really nice for us because we scale so well with spawnables. Sentry turret, okay. Unfortunately, we don't have this item right now. It would be very useful. Maybe we will still get it. It basically allows you to create an entire army of drones. I mean, already you can see we have a lot of things, a lot of spawnables running around. We actually found another one, a DMR turret, a sniper turret, essentially. It's okay. I will probably recycle it as soon as I find a better item, but for that we will first have to find a better item, which we didn't, so on to the next floor we go. Not too happy with our run so far, honestly. This is the last set of floors, like the last stage, and after we, I think it's always 5 stages and a boss, another 5 stages and a boss, or 5 floors and a boss, and after this one there will be like the final boss, and as you can see we still don't have the maximum stacks on our drones, so we didn't recycle enough items yet. It would have been nice to get up to like 20 or maybe even 30. With 30 stacks, those drones are absolutely insane. And we have like 15 right now. Oh great, they activated the alert as well. So yeah, not feeling too confident. I think we can still beat the final boss, but after the final boss there's an extra challenge room, which I have my doubts that we will be able to complete it. But we will get the final boss, I'm pretty sure about it. Okay, this is what I was talking about earlier. It's when an enemy converts to your side, which can sometimes happen. So now this machine gun dude is fighting for us, which is nice. And he's dead. Yeah. It's not fun if all of the enemies suddenly target you. And the only reason why we are still alive is because we just run away all of the time. We are so mobile, we keep moving, and they can't hit us. Which also, like, I think I have something like 500 hours in this game. I'm absolutely addicted to it. So yeah, it's not something that comes easily. Like, people will struggle with this game. Like, it's definitely not an easy game. I make it look easy right now, but it's absolutely not. It's one of the very hard game. And for me, when I started out, it took me like 50 or 100 hours or something to even beat the final boss on easy difficulty, because I kept dying until I had figured out the movement, how to dodge enemy attacks, what patterns they have, how to time my dashes. Oh yeah, by the way, the character has dashes, so you accelerate a little bit, which is really nice for dodging. Oh, this is nice. This guy converted to our side, but he was being healed by one of the enemy health regeneration pods. Usually if enemies convert to your side, they will permanently take damage. As you can see right now, they continuously take damage and eventually die. But because he was being healed, he now has a lot more health. But yeah, unfortunately, the healing bot switched targets, so he won't stay with us forever. I set all of my units down here to fight down here. Meanwhile, I move up here to fight a few enemies myself, so we can basically have 2 flanks open at once. I don't take risk of taking friendly fire damage, and I can start clearing enemies, killing enemies over here without worrying to get into the way of my drones, and without worrying that my drones will get into my way. It's a strategy to basically save some time when you're feeling confident. Obviously, when there's a lot of enemies, you want to hide under behind your friends, behind your army. Okay. Took a little bit of damage there again, but it's okay. Yeah. Hello, Chronos Trooper. Okay. Yep. I think that's all of that for this floor. Once again, another weapon upgrade station. We have a weapons chest over here. This game still is desperately trying to give us weapons. Like, refusing to pick up weapons not only means that we don't get the passive bonuses. Early on I picked up the Eminence AR, which would have reduced the cooldown of all of our items by 20%. Super powerful weapon, but we didn't take it. Not only did we skip out and miss out on those passive upgrades, which are really powerful, also like a lot of our... whoa! Holy, we almost died. Our health bar went from like full health to 10% or something in like 2 seconds. Sorry. We just miss out on a lot of items. I did a practice run where I actually did use items and did keep the passive buffs, and I found a lot more items then, and I was already on like almost 25 or 30 stacks on our drones back then. So yeah, definitely even more of a disadvantage if you don't pick up weapons. And another weapon chest. Yeah. The game just is trying really, really, really hard to give us guns. Ooh, they've got tanks, and we've got our green upgrade. That is very nice. I hope we get something good. Throughout your run, you can find those green... What's that? Tetragon? No, that's octagon? No, this geometric shape right there, this green one. And if you find 3 of them, you get a very, very powerful upgrade. And what do we got? Increased fire damage, very nice. Increased damage on pistols, don't care. Better healing. Better healing is tempting, but I'm going to take the bonus to poison, fire and bleeding damage for one thing, because obviously we have our poison grenade, and also because our drones actually deal fire damage. As soon as they hit an enemy, they set them on fire, so now they deal 30% extra fire damage. Let's see what this ring is. It's a ring of glass. We mustn't take damage and kill a certain number of enemies, so very simply we just spawn our drone and let it do all of the work. Though it looked like it didn't kill enough enemies, so to run away again. And yeah, almost got it. And if you manage to do this challenge, to not take damage and kill enough enemies, you can recycle it and get a free item, which we just did. Bandana, don't really care. That was now we have a heavy steel trap because it was our 3rd recycled item. We can drop that one as well and pick our DMR turret back up, which I threw on the floor for a second there in order to pick up the ring. Yeah. And then we proceed with what we are doing all of the time. We drop all of our spawnables on the floor and let them deal damage to enemies while we are simultaneously running around clearing enemies with our drones. And another upgrade station while we are almost at full money. So we just throw a bunch of money into our items. Yeah. Okay. I think that's about it. Time to go to the next floor. I think it's maybe one more. Maybe we will fight the final boss right now immediately. I'm not sure if I counted correctly. And it looks like it's final boss time. Okay. The final boss stage has 3 rooms in it. The first room will be fighting 2 tanks, so we will run in, spawn all of our drones, put our poison on one of them, and then just try to hide, try to deal as much damage to them as possible, and they're dead. Nice. Okay, now we will actually, for one, like throughout all of the run, I just went head first, all in, smashed my head against the enemies. This time we actually want to sit back and wait for our items to come off cooldown. Like, I've been stupid all of this time. I could have waited for our items to come off cooldown for all of this run. I just didn't, because I don't care. But this time we actually want to. Though we won't wait for the DMR turret. So we do the same thing again. This stage we have these 4 computers which we have to hack, and in order to hack them we have to stay close to them for a certain time. You see the loading bar right here, and also there's these floor tiles which turn purple, and if the floor tile is purple then you will take damage while you're standing on it, so you have to always be careful how you move around. But you are invincible while dashing, you have a few iframes. So you can dash across those purple fields. And that's our 4th computer. So we can now go into the final boss. This time we didn't wait for our items to come off cooldown, because there are enemies spawning permanently. And little tip for you, if you ever play this game, you can, if you don't wait, if you don't skip during the cutscene from the final boss and instead you wait, you can the items will actually recharge while you interact and have a little chat with the final boss, and the final boss goes like, "I'm going to kill you," blah blah blah. Yeah, so now it's the same procedure as always. We just dodge, we run around. I have this pattern figured out pretty well. Because like he has a gun to the left, he has a gun to the right, so if we stay right in front of him, there's like a little safe space where you can stay, where I'm right now. But he has like orbital lasers which he shoots at you, so it's not 100% safe. So you have to be a little bit careful with that. And while I was trying to explain exactly what we're doing, we already managed to kill him. Found another weapon, because the game is desperately trying to give me more, and that's the final boss defeated. Whew. Like, I can't even explain how I'm killing the final boss and I'm already killing him. That just shows how powerful the engineer is. Like, just getting the drone upgrades. Like, we are still only at 20 stacks on the drones. Like, if we were at 30 stacks, we would really have like 2 miniguns just firing at an insane rate of fire. Like, this isn't even the most powerful the engineer can become. And also our turrets just improve when we upgrade them on an upgrade station, but the missile drone gets 5% more damage for every recycled item, so it too scales very hard when we recycle tons of items like we just did. What we're doing right now is the final stage. It's a bit like the very first boss that we fought. So there's like the central computer which we have to hack, and there's enemies just spawning around us constantly, which we have to kill. But except this time you actually see we have 2 loading bars, so if we don't stick near to this turret thing, to this computer, we will actually lose the game. So we have to like permanently stay close to it and run in circles around it. You can leave it sometimes to pick up ammo or health or something like I just did, but you have to spend most of the time close to it. And meanwhile the game will spawn tons and tons and tons of really powerful enemies at you. Like when we were fighting the very first boss, there was like this very big enemy right at the end. Yeah, the very big enemy at the end, there will be like 5 of them spawning later on in this round. So yeah, we do the same thing as always, run around like a scared chicken and let our drones deal all of the damage and activate them as often as possible and hope that our items reset very often. We have like the orb of wind, which has like I think a 1 second cooldown. We have the Heart Seeker, which has a 3 second cooldown. Unfortunately, only triggers on kills. But those are two items which have very short cooldown, which can activate very often. And that allows us to reset the cooldown on our sentry turret, our missile drone, and stuff like that as often as possible. So we have the items ready pretty much permanently, and we just have an entire army of units flying around. And yeah, as I was talking about earlier, here's the final boss from the first floor, and he almost one-shot me. Nice. And now there should be more of his friends coming. Yeah, there's another one. I think, yeah, up here are 2 more of them. There's another one. And we just completed the game, and we actually did Armageddon Chamber. Yes! I actually made it. Proud of myself. I mentioned earlier that I didn't think we would make it, but we did. So we actually completed the game. And if we press escape, we actually get back to this menu. I want to keep that one. Gonna recycle that guy. Gonna recycle that guy. Okay. Sorry, I had to act relatively quickly right now, because you have like a certain timer before you get teleported to the next level. So I just had to manage all of our items right now, so I could take the items I wanted to keep. So yeah, right now we are in the post game. It's called the loop, where basically you fight through the normal game again, except your stats get worse with every floor that you complete, and you have tons and tons of more enemies, harder enemies. The bosses get tougher, so we will just take a little bit of time, relax, and we will probably die very, very soon, because this is the point where the game gets actually insanely hard. Like, you can see just how many enemies are around. We manage with them because we have a little bit of AoE with our missile drones and our poison grenades. Ooh, I actually want them to open up this box right here. Nice. On this map there's a secret chest hidden right here, which I'm just gonna open. It gives you 2 body upgrades. It's one of the best things. It gave us dodge and crit chance. Wow, not very special, not very useful. So yeah. Yeah, so there's like just 6 snipers just chilling there. Yeah. And also, like, you don't get healed anymore, which is also why I got rid of my potions, because the potions don't give you health anymore, or give you less health, while at the same time, if you get poisoned by a potion, it will just completely ruin your health. So at this point the potions are going to hurt us more than they're going to heal us. This is the point where it's really nice to have Incubus, which we had right at the start of the game. Lifesteal, I mean, with that. More headshot damage, that's nice because it also counts for our drones. Yeah, that's why I got rid of the potion, because it would deal more damage than it will heal. Oh yeah, sorry, I lost the train of thoughts there, because I don't know why. Yeah, stressful. Anyways, it would be nice to have lifesteal right now. Lifesteal is the only thing that can carry you through the loop. Unfortunately, we don't, so we will die very soon. As you can tell, we are already super low on health. Lifesteal is especially effective because right now we would have insane damage output, and also because there are so many enemies to shoot and get lifesteal from. But right now we are just going to die very, very soon. And that's it. Got shot by a sniper. I wasn't playing too smart towards the end because, yeah, I'm a bit tired from all of the talking. But yeah, that is Synthetic for you. Score S++, obviously. I'm not exactly sure where the 1000 damage came from. It might have been the case that I fired like a shot or two when I was like activating my items, because like the acid grenade, you have to activate the grenade and then click left click in order to place it down, and if it's on cooldown, then sometimes I might have fired a shot. So, but this pistol deals like 300 damage, so that's like 4 shots that we fired. So I think it's excusable, as well as the fact, obviously, that we got 10% crit chance from it. Yeah, you can see like what a different run might look like damage-wise, that the 1000 damage really isn't worth anything. Other stats like headshots, kills and accuracy, all of those actually, especially the headshots, the damage or the headshots from our drones count into that. That's why we have 200 headshots. And we had so many items that they just go off screen. And we level up like five levels or something. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Something else this time, it was a synthetic video instead of from the devs. Let me know, do you want to watch me play different games? I've been playing a lot of BPM, bullets per minute, lately. Maybe I could make a video on Dredge. I have a bunch of other games. Maybe I'm playing a lot of Civilization with a friend, so maybe I could show you a run of this one. Should I do more different games? Do you want more from the devs content again? Let me know your thoughts. Let me tell me if you enjoyed it. Tell me if you didn't. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking all the way through to the end. Have a great time and goodbye.